Welcome, nerds, to the Shoutout Show. If you have recently left a comment or subscribed or anything along those lines, followed me on the socials or whatever, then this is the show where you get to join more directly. I respond to you directly, all of the things. So once again, Shoutout Show. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, so shout-outs. We've been in the off season for a little, right about 2 months actually. So that being said, I didn't go back through the entirety of those 2 months. I just went back to the beginning of January. So if you don't get your shout-out and you are a subscriber that has not received a shout-out because you subscribed during the off season, leave a comment. We'll talk about it. This is the show, once again, where that happens. So, here we go. Shout out show. Over on the Twitter, just about a week ago, we got Kasumi followed because of some Mortal Kombat content, because we got the Mortal Kombat content as well. Kasumi at Badocha70. Thank you very much, Nerd, for the follow. Next, we have YouTube, the main YouTube channel. We got a couple of new subscribers there that have their settings set to public, and that is Donovan Beane, Ema, and NewYorkRush. Thank you very much, Nerds, for the follows. Over on the second YouTube channel, again, fair amount of people subscribing, not a lot of people with their settings set to public, so I can't see you all, but CicadaResurrect and Daniel Colón. Thank you very much, Nerds, for the follow. Let's get into the other side of this, and that is the comments that you guys have been making on the videos. We're starting with, this is actually a video from a little while ago. It's a reaction video on the main channel. Benjamin Todd's song, Not Coming Home. Donovan Beane, also a new subscriber, thank you very much, said, I'm so glad you're a cine nerd too. Please do more of his videos. I'm here for all the sad songs. The way I do reactions on the channel, generally speaking, sometimes there are exceptions to this, but generally speaking, if it's an artist that I already know that I like, I'm probably not going to do a reaction for it necessarily. I might do, like, the new record's about to come out, and this is the first single from the new record. Yeah, I'll probably do that because there's a potential that there's a dramatic difference in recording, or dramatic difference in performance, or maybe there's a new band lineup or something along those lines. That's plenty reason to do a new reaction, analyze the new sound, etc., etc., etc. Benjamin Todd, being that he's the only guy who does all of the stuff, generally speaking, I mean, if we get another great, or we get another VHS, what is it? The classics on VHS, or whatever the name of that channel is, I can't remember. But that's who put out this Benjamin Todd video. So if they do another artist that I like, and I'm in a spot where I'm doing a batch of reaction videos, then that might happen. But I'm not going to go back through any artist's catalog necessarily for a reaction video. Eventually, I would like to get to the point where I'm doing, I have an idea for a fourth channel that would be a music appreciation situation where we kind of go through and analyze a discography and compare where the band started, or where the artist started, and where they are currently, and kind of how they got to that point, because I think that's a really interesting conversation to have. I don't have the time to do that right now because I have a day job, plus I'm running 3 channels. So yeah, definitely time constrictive. But eventually, yes, I would like to get to something along those lines, but they won't be reactions directly. I hope that kind of gives you an idea of why I might not go back through more Benjamin Todd music. I love Benjamin Todd, seen him live, surprisingly great. surprisingly saw him live. He was great. It was an accident. I didn't know he was on the bill because I forgot the name of his band, and there he was on stage all of a sudden. Anyway, so our next comment comes from Andrea Brantley on it was one of the proper episodes on the main channel. We need to talk about Interview with the Vampire, Hocus Pocus 2, and other things. Andrea Brantley said, Jacob Anderson, who plays Louis, he also has good music. Stage name Raleigh Ritchie. Last Romance, Bloodsport, I Can Change, song titles. I didn't know that he did music. I haven't, since I read this comment, it happened a little while ago, but since I read this comment, I have not yet gone to check out any of his music, though she did comment later in the comment thread, giving his YouTube channel, I believe even. So if you are interested, by all means go. I will be checking this out sometime in the not too distant future because I'm highly intrigued by the thought of him being a musician as well. So yeah. Thank you very much, Andrea, for the heads up about him making music, because I'm definitely here for it. And our next one comes from another reaction video. It's from The Garden's Freight Yard, which was the first single off of their most current record. This one comes from NewYorkRush. Also, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I saw these guys in Seattle back in November. Absolutely see them if you can. Their energy live is incredible. I have heard as such. They recently came kind of through. They didn't come directly to where I am, but they were the next state over. I had to actually cover shifts for a couple of guys at work who went over for the show. So I couldn't, but the next time they come, they're close enough to me that it makes sense. I definitely plan on going to see them because, yeah, dig it a lot. The Garden is just a lot of fun, weird music. So, yeah. Our next one is actually 2 comments on the same video, so let's do that. First one comes from John Colón. The name of the video is The Rock is Trying to Save Face. This one came out during the off season on the second channel, on the Clips channel, where you're probably watching this video right now. What would be funny is if they remake Black Adam with a different actor and made money. Rock's shelf life is expiring, and hollywoke is tired of him as well. All of his movies are pretty much cookie cutter, very predictable. Let's get to the next one and then I'll respond. John Hallmark on the same video says, that movie is absolutely terrible. I could not believe they were saying it was supposed to be the best superhero movie ever. It plain sucked. All right, so let's get into the first comment, shall we? The one from Mr. John Colón. Yes, I think that is what's going to happen. As far as the first part of your comment goes, I think absolutely some years down the road, probably 3 to 5, maybe 8 years down the road, we will see a different actor play Black Adam because The Rock will have moved on with his career, and yeah, he won't be as interested in it anymore, and James Gunn can do whatever the hell James Gunn wants to do. He doesn't have to include The Rock. The Rock doesn't own the rights to that movie or anything like that. So, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. James Gunn will get to a point where a Black Adam movie actually makes a fair amount of money and not just might be breaking even, kind of. As far as hollywoke being tired of The Rock and all of his movies being pretty much cookie cutter, very predictable. So I can't necessarily disagree with the cookie cutter thing and that they're predictable, but that's kind of why Hollywood keeps giving him work, is because he's safe. And actually, he's fairly popular among younger millennials and older Gen Z. I can't understand why. I think he's kind of pretentious and definitely all natural. But there's something strangely charismatic about him that age group just really sees him as a good action star. And you can't really say that what he's doing now and what Arnold and Stallone did in the 80s and 90s is really all that different. He's a little bit more of a businessman than they were, because they were just pretty faces on screen, and he's running companies on top of being the pretty face on screen. But the acting depth is arguably comparable. So I don't know if the second half of your comment necessarily holds water. And then to the John Hallmark comment. Yeah, if you're believing, if you walk into any movie thinking it's going to be the best of some genre or anything like that, based off of the propaganda put out by the movie studio before you got there, you really need to reevaluate how you perceive most of the entertainment world, because that's literally how that's their job. They're supposed to say, oh, it's going to be the greatest of X or Y or Z, and it rarely ever is. No movies, we can't literally have the best one every time a new movie in a genre comes out. It's just impossible. The best of anything probably already exists, and anything that's going to top that won't be out tomorrow or next month or anything. It's going to be some time, because you have to get somebody in there who really has a new take on things. And right now, that's not Hollywood by really many stretches of the imagination. Some corners of Hollywood are definitely pumping out some new and interesting things, but those are not the popular corners of Hollywood. Those are the guys like David Fincher who are doing the really strange side projects that kind of make him some money but let him get creative anyway. And yeah, so just whenever, I don't know who was telling you, aside from, Dwayne Johnson, that it was going to be the best superhero movie ever, but whoever they were, you really need to reconsider that person as a friend. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's what we got for the shout out show this week, guys. Thank you very much for everybody who commented. If you want to get your comment on the show, then interact with something on one of the YouTube channels. Go interact over on the Rumble, because I don't know how that platform works 100% just yet, so maybe you'll help me figure it out. Or on the social medias, if you want to go back and forth on the social medias, well, you'll get a spotlight here on the shout out show as well. So thank you again very much, nerds, for joining me here for this. We'll see you next week for the next shout out show. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.